And in this video, we're going to be taking a look at a timeline of events surrounding the case of Lucy Letby. Firstly, we'll take a look at Lucy Letby's latest court appearance, and then from there we're going to take a look at the charges against her and a timeline of events surrounding the case. The first newspaper article comes from the 13th of November 2020. A nurse accused of the murders of 8 babies in an alleged year-long killing spree at a hospital neonatal unit has appeared in the dock of a courtroom for the first time. Lucy Letby, 30, is alleged to have murdered 5 baby boys and 3 baby girls while working at the Countess of Chester Hospital. She is also accused of the attempted murder of 5 baby boys and 5 baby girls all between June 2015 and June 2016. Letby appeared via video link at Warrington Magistrates Court on Thursday. On Friday, she appeared in the dock for the first time in person at Chester Crown Court. Letby, wearing grey jogging bottoms and a grey sweatshirt and carrying a water bottle, spoke only to confirm her name and remained passive throughout the hearing, lasting around 4 hours and dealing with preliminary matters and a bail application. The defendant waved to her parents sitting in the public gallery as she came into and left court during brief adjournments. Her father mouthed, "I love you," back to her. Judge Stephen Everett, Honorary Recorder of Chester, imposed an order banning any information that could lead to the identification of witnesses and thereby prohibiting further publication of the names of the babies allegedly murdered by Letby. Ben Myers QC, representing Letby, made the application for bail, which was held in private, and the press benches were cleaned of the dozen or so reporters in court. An hour later, press were allowed back into the court to hear Judge Everett's decision to refuse the bail application. Letby of Arran Avenue, Hereford, was arrested in 2018 and 2019 as part of the police investigation into the Countess of Chester Hospital, which began in 2017. A further hearing is scheduled to be held at Liverpool Crown Court on Wednesday. The next newspaper article comes from the 13th of November 2020 with the headline, "Baby killer nurse mouths I love you" as she's denied bail and taken to the cells. Nurse Lucy Letby, who is accused of murdering 8 infants in 1 year, looked up at her parents and mouthed "I love you" today as she was led into the cells. The nurse charged with murdering 8 infants looked tearful as she was denied bail. Lucy Letby looked up at her parents and mouthed "I love you" as she was remanded in custody and led down to the cells. And as the 30-year-old left court, her mum made a heart sign with her hands. Susan, 60, and John Letby, 77, from Hereford had been watching proceedings from a public gallery at Chester Crown Court. The bereaved families of her alleged victims were also watching by video conferencing. The court heard Letby's trial is likely to take up to 6 months and unlikely to happen until next summer. The case was adjourned until next week for legal submissions and then to February the 19th, 2021. Okay, now what appears apparent here in these articles is that the press are going to be kept in the dark, largely speaking, whilst this trial is ongoing to protect, I believe, the witnesses and really the integrity of the trial in general. And as mentioned in those articles there, this case is more than likely, or I should say this trial, is more than likely not going to be heard now until the new year and is expected to take around 6 months in duration. What I'm going to read to you now is actually a post which I found quite interesting from the Web Sleuths forum, and it's from a verified law enforcement worker from the UK. She'll be able to give us some insight potentially on how this crime would have been investigated early on and some of the restrictions that the police and the investigators may have faced when looking into this crime. When you are the senior investigating officer of an inquiry like this, it's brought to your attention about some concerns regarding the initial deaths. So you take a look at it and you realise that it warrants further investigation than what originally intended. However, what you can't do is go on what the defence call a trawling expedition, which is to go through a whole time of employment at this hospital and try and fit anything that happened which had question marks around it to the circumstances now surrounding the accused Letby. So what you have to do is set out a terms of reference and a structured approach. Choose a sample year that you will concentrate on, usually the year where there's been the most occurrences, and solely investigate that 1 year's period. It can be extended, but you have to be careful to not, as I've said before, go trawling for other incidents that fit with what you currently are already aware of. It's called unfair practices, and personally, although I don't agree, a time-limited period to investigate is needed because, as we have seen here, this investigation covers mainly a 1 year at a time period, and it's taken 3 years to gather sufficient evidence to put before a court. But if you covered her whole employment period, if she was responsible for more, can you imagine how much more time the investigation would have taken? And that in itself becomes a problem because as time goes on, witness memories fade, etc. Okay, so certainly an interesting post there. What I will do is put a link to that website with the Web Sleuths forum in the video description box below, so feel free to check that out, as it will allow you to keep up to date with the case and also some other people's thoughts and theories on this particular ongoing situation. Now, what I can gather from this post is that this lady's saying that the investigators may well have had to have picked a particular year, potentially where the most cases of death occurred, and solely focus on that for the time being. Now, you certainly get the opinion there, reading that post, that there's the possibility that there could well be more deaths linked to this particular case. Now, obviously, I've got no way of verifying that or confirming that, but reading that there, it certainly gives you the impression that they may well have just simply been focusing on a 1 year period, bearing in mind that Lucy Letby actually worked at that hospital for a number of years. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of this in the months and years to come. Now, just recently in the newspaper, they've reported the charges which Lucy Letby is now facing. So what I've done is I've put a timeline together with the key dates surrounding this case. So hopefully you can get a better visual representation of what has taken place in the year of 2015 and 2016. So on Monday, the 8th of June 2015, Lucy Letby is charged with murder. Between Monday, the 8th of June and Thursday, the 11th of June, she is charged with attempted murder. Friday, the 12th of June and Monday, the 15th of June, between those two dates, she is charged with murder. Monday, the 22nd of June, murder. Between Sunday, the 2nd of August and Wednesday, the 5th of August, she is charged with murder. On Wednesday, the 5th of August, attempted murder. Sunday, the 6th of September and Tuesday, the 22nd of September, between those two dates, she is charged with attempted murder. Between Wednesday, the 21st of October and Saturday, the 24th of October, she is charged with murder. Between Thursday, the 26th of November and Friday, the 18th of December, she is charged with attempted murder. Now we move on to 2016. On Wednesday, the 17th of February, she is charged with attempted murder. Saturday, the 20th of February, she is charged with murder. Now, why I've put that those two events are linked, Wednesday the 17th being the attempted murder and Saturday the 20th of February being the actual murder, is that those two events concern the same infant. Now, it's unthinkable, really, that on Wednesday, the 17th of February, this person may have attempted to kill this infant and then succeeded 3 days later. When I actually put two and two together there, just made me feel sick, to be honest. Saturday, the 9th of April, charged with a first attempted murder. Saturday, the 9th of April, the same infant, again, I believe, charged with a second attempted murder. Between Thursday, the 2nd of June and Thursday, the 16th of June 2016, charged with attempted murder. Thursday, the 23rd of June, murder. Friday, the 24th of June, murder. And Saturday, the 25th of June, attempted murder. Now, I need to stress at this point in time, Lucy Letby is classed as innocent. I believe she's going to be entering a plea next week. And my own personal thoughts on that is that I believe that she's actually going to plead guilty. The reason I say that is because this is such a long-running investigation. And what we need to remember here is that the CPS need to be at least 90% sure that they have an incredibly strong case, that they can get a conviction. At least a 90% certainty. And they have all of these charges that they've brought against Lucy Letby. They must be incredibly sure that there's enough strong evidence pointing to the fact that this Lucy Letby is in fact guilty of these crimes. But as I say, as it stands at the moment, Lucy Letby is innocent. From all the newspaper articles that I've read and the information that I've gathered on this case thus far, I believe that we're not going to be told that much more. I believe that there's going to be some kind of media blackout once the trial takes place, which is now set for some time in the spring, I believe, next year. But details regarding this case moving forward, I believe, are going to be very sparse. So that is where we stand currently with the case of Lucy Letby. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching this video today. I'll be putting up some other videos from the channel shortly once the outro starts, so feel free to check those out. I look forward to seeing you all again in the next video. Take care. Cheers.